This article is not intended to be a deep dive on suspension, setup, geometry, etc., but rather to give you an overview of the different components on your 997.2 suspension and what they do. Let's start at the rear suspension. The lower control arm, which is often referred to as the coffin arm, connects the lower subframe to the lower wheel carrier. Where the arm connects to the subframe, you will see a set of eccentric nuts, bolts, and washers, red arrow. This is used to set the camber, or how much of an angle the wheel sits at either towards or away from the body. The rubber bushing in this part allows flex of both the inward and outward forces when cornering, as well as deflection under acceleration and braking. The control arm on our vehicle has been replaced with a Renline monoballs to help eliminate this play or movement in the suspension. Remember, anytime that you firm up your suspension by eliminating rubber compounds and replacing them with polyurethane or solid compounds, you will be transmitting a lot more road forces and vibrations into the chassis and giving up ride comfort for performance. The lower control arm attaches to the wheel carrier by a ball joint indicated by the blue arrow. This image shows the upper rear control arm. The arm connects and stabilizes the rear of the wheel carrier, red arrow, to the subframe, blue arrow. This arm does not have adjustability. We have replaced the stock bushing with firmer Redline bushings to eliminate some of the deflection or movement under both cornering, acceleration, and braking loads. This is the rear toe arm, or sometimes referred to as a track arm. This arm sets the toe in or out. This is how much the rear tire faces in or out from the center line. The factory arm is adjustable by eccentric washers, bolts, and nuts on the subframe end of the stock arm. We have replaced the arm with a Renline adjustable arm that eliminates the eccentric washers, red arrow, and allows for a more precise adjustment on the arm itself. The arm connects to the wheel carrier via a ball joint indicated by the blue arrow. On the forward part, you have another upper control arm, green arrow. This arm functions the same as the rear upper control arm and has had the Renline upper bushings replaced. The diagonal control arm connects to the subframe, blue arrow, via a rubber and metal bushing. It also connects to the lower control or coffin arm, red arrow. This arm sees a lot of forces from the torque of accelerating and braking. With the wheel carrier removed, you can see all of the components. The diagonal arm, green arrow, the lower control or coffin arm, blue arrow, the upper control arms, red arrows, and the toe or track arm, yellow arrow. In this image, the toe arm is the stock factory arm. Moving to the front. On the front, the tie rod connects the wheel carrier via a ball joint, blue arrow, to the steering rack, red arrow. There are inner and outer tie rods on both sides. The junction between them can be adjusted to set the toe in on the front suspension. There is a single diagonal control arm that connects the lower control arm or coffin arm, blue arrow, to the front subframe and chassis, red arrow. This arm offers no adjustability in suspension geometry. The lower control arm or coffin arm connects to the wheel carrier via a ball joint, red arrow, and the subframe via a traditional bushing, blue arrow. You can also see where the diagonal arm connects to the coffin arm, green arrow. The connection on the diagonal arm to coffin arm can be replaced or modified with stiffer bushings right up to solid bushings. The inner coffin arm connection, unlike the rear, is not adjustable. You can upgrade the bushing to a monoball, like we did with the Renline monoball upgrade, or you can upgrade to adjustable coffin arms, which will give you adjustability in setting the camber. This view from below shows the coffin arm to subframe mount, red arrow, coffin arm to wheel carrier ball joint, blue arrow, and the diagonal arm, green arrow. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.